Candidates, welcome back. Now let's talk about volume, surface area, and density. So let's start with volume of a cuboid. We use the formula volume is equal to length times width times height, and its units of measurements are cubic centimeters, cubic meters, or cubic millimeters, depending on the units used for either volume, length, or width. Let's take a look at an example of finding the volume of a cuboid with length 5 centimeters, width of 3 centimeters, and a height of 4 centimeters. Tutaka ni kunyora formula yedu, and then we substitute our values. So our volume is equal to 5 times 3 times 4, and we get a volume of 60 cubic centimeters. For our second example, we're having a length of 8 centimeters, a width of 2 centimeters, and a height of 6 centimeters. Substituting into our formula, we get a volume of 96 cubic centimeters. Lastly, we are having a length of 10 centimeters, a width of 4 centimeters, and a height of 2.5 centimeters. Substituting our values, we get a volume of 100 cubic centimeters. Now, ngatichereseze kutsvaga volume yecylinder. Volume yecylinder, we use the formula V is equal to pi r squared h. Pi r squared represents the area of the circular base, while h is our perpendicular height. Ngatichereseze, for example 1. We have a cylinder with a radius of 3 centimeters and a height of 7 centimeters. Substituting into our formula, we get a volume of 197.92 cubic centimeters. For our second example, having a radius of 5 centimeters and a height of 12 centimeters. Substituting into our formula, we get 942.48 cubic centimeters. For our third example, we are having a radius of 2.5 and a height of 8 centimeters. Substituting into a formula, and don't forget to always square your radius, we get a volume of 157.08 cubic centimeters. Let's take a look at finding the surface area of a cuboid. We use the formula 2 by length times width plus length by height plus width by height. This is because a cuboid has two faces, the bottom and the top, and also it has front and back faces and left and right faces. Ngaticherechedze kutsvaga surface area yecuboid with a length of 6 centimeters, a width of 4 centimeters, and a height of 3 centimeters. Totanga kunyora formula yedu, then we substitute our values. Multiplying each pair, we get a surface area of 108 square centimeters. Ngaticherechedze another example with a length of 10, a width of 5 centimeters, and a height of 2 centimeters. We write our formula down and substitute, we get a surface area of 160 square centimeters. Ngaticherechedze kutsvaga surface area of a cylinder. We use the formula 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. The 2 pi r squared is for the two circular ends and the 2 pi r h for the curved lateral surface. Let's take a look at an example. We are given a cylinder with a radius of 4 centimeters and a height of 10 centimeters. We write down our formula and substitute our values, and we find a surface area of 351.86 square centimeters. For our second example, we are having a radius of 3 centimeters and a height of 8 centimeters. We write down our formula and we substitute, getting a surface area of 207.35 square centimeters. Let's take a look at the density of materials. This is defined as the mass per unit volume of a material, and we use the formula ρ is equal to m over v. The units of density are grams per cubic centimeter or kgs per cubic meters, whilst the units of mass are kgs or grams, and for volume are cubic centimeters or cubic meters. Take note that this formula can be rearranged to make either mass or volume the subject. Let's take a look at an example to find the density of a metal block that has a mass of 240 grams and a volume of 30 cubic centimeters. We write down our formula and substituting our values, we get a density of 8 grams per cubic centimeter. Taking a look at example 2, we're given that a liquid has a density of 1.2 grams per cubic meter and a volume of 250 cubic centimeters. We need to find its mass. We rearrange our formula and substituting our values, find out that the mass of the liquid is 300 grams. So candidates, that's all for today's lesson. Please try out my questions and worksheet, and I'll see you on the next one.